Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I think when this is going to go up, perhaps you're watching it on a different day. But either way, I hope you're having a great week. We're going to be talking about books today. I want to go ahead and get into it. I don't want this to be too long, but I want to give y'all my October TBR, and then I want to also give you all the books that I've gotten from Half Price Books over the past two trips. Okay, the second trip was like a little baby trip. The first trip, I went in there to get a book for a friend for her birthday, and then I ended up buying like 8 books, but like 3 or 4 of them were for her. So really, I was being good by gifting other people, and then I happened to find a few select options for myself. Who like that's normal. It's fine. And so I just wanted to share them with you guys. And if y'all don't shop at Half Price Books, what is you doing? Because you can find all the greatest books for the low. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the Half Price Books haul first, and then we'll do TBR at the end. I do know that we're already halfway through the month of October. Let's not talk about it. Either way, I'm going to give you what I have been reading in October so far, and then what I plan to continue reading as we finish out the month. But anywho, first book that I got, The Count of Monte Cristo, guys, and this is such a pretty copy too. So I read this book in high school, middle school. Either way, I read it in one of my English classes, and at first, I remember when we got assigned the reading, I was like, "Sister, this book is huge. I don't want to read this." And then I think we read it like throughout the semester or whatever. So we just took it little by little, and I ended up really, really, really enjoying it. I know you guys have probably heard this book or read it in your high school or middle school classes as well. But I've been wanting a copy of it just to have. And I'm not going to get up because it's too much work. Maybe I'll insert a little picture so you can see the cover up close. But the cover is just so pretty. And I saw this, it was $5. And so I just had to have it. And so maybe one day I'll reread this book, but I just love it so much. And if you have not heard of this book, it's a classic. You should definitely read it. It basically tells a story with way less detail because y'all know how I get down. But basically tells a story of this guy. He is falsely accused of something, and he ends up going to prison. And there's a whole bunch of people who were considered his friends, people that he were a part of his life who kind of didn't say anything and didn't help him out in that time of need when he was sent to prison for something that he did not do. Then he gets out of prison and he's like, gotta get my lick back, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what happens, but it's very well written. It's a really good story. It's great. And so I recommend that you read it if you haven't already. But I got this for $5 down to the Half Price Books. And then I got this book, This Close to Okay by Lessa Cross Smith. I don't know a ton about this. This has been on my TBR for probably 2 years. And I don't know why I haven't bought it yet. I got it for $8.49 at Half Price Books. It was originally going for $17. So I think that's a great steal. But I wrote a little bit about what they were saying about this book. Basically, there's a therapist who's driving home and she sees a man standing on a bridge. She convinces him to come with her, and they basically have this healing weekend and they share with each other a lot of like exploring human connection, and it's like a cathartic story about chance encounters, hope found in unlikely moments, and the subtle magic of human connection. That's what it said on the back of the book. And so I don't know what really pulled me. First of all, y'all know I love to judge a book by its cover. I know we're not supposed to do that, but this cover is just really, really cute, really nice, and it just intrigued me. Maybe it's the fall colors. I don't know, but it made me want to read it. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to this, but hopefully before the year ends. I think it's gonna be a good story to read. So I got that. Okay, y'all. This is the next book that I got, The Brightest Light of Sunshine by, I think it's Licinia Coney. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But this is a romance novel. I don't know much about it, right? This has been on my TBR for the longest. I'm talking like back when I first started reading again. I saw this cover and I loved the orange. I loved the flowers. I saw it was a romance novel and I was like, cool, on the TBR. And I don't know why I haven't bought it yet. I don't understand. But I got this one for $9.49. I think it was originally going for like $19. So that's a good steal. But I don't know much about it, and I did not want to know much about it, as y'all know, but I did want to give you a little bit of information about at least what I found. And it just says, I think this is like one of the lines that's on the back of the book. It says, a woman ready to move on, a man who can't afford distractions, an inspiring journey of healing love. And I don't know. I don't know yet, guys. I suggest you look this one up because I just cannot know too much about it. I don't know why I don't want to know anything. I just want to go in completely blind. So I definitely recommend looking it up. But all the reviews I saw have been pretty good for this book. And like I said, I think there's like a second one too. There might even be a third. I know there's a second book for sure. Let me see. It doesn't say it on the back, but I know there's a second one. So I'm very excited to read this, and I guess this is like I guess this trip was all about getting books that have been in my TBR for years. Um, and then I got Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. This has also been on my TBR for forever. Everybody who I've seen talk about this book has said amazing things. I'm sure you guys probably have read this or seen it at least. And I really wanted this book in a hardback. Don't know why. I just felt like that was appropriate for the book. So I got this one for $14.50, and I don't know how much it was going for originally because this is a book of the month copy that someone returned to or sold to half price book. So I don't know how much it was going for, but I still think $14 for a hardback is decent. So it's pretty good quality too. Not a lot of scratches on the cover. Looks good. So I'm excited to read this, and I looked up a little bit about this book, but I know that basically there's these sisters who are dealing with the loss of a family member. I didn't want to know which family member passed away, so I didn't read too deeply into that. I just kind of like skimmed through the summary, but I know that they're gonna all have to return home, and then I think the book explores them handling grief and exploring like the bond they have between all the sisters and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be a really beautiful story, and I'm interested to see how she's gonna explore the grief and how each sister is gonna play along into that. So like I said, anybody that I've heard talk about this book has said great things. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I just never had a chance to buy it, so I bought it now, and hopefully, I just want to like. I really feel like I just need like, okay. Have you seen the girlies who do the 24-hour readathon thing and they read for 24 hours straight? Like, I feel like I could do that. I mean, like I'm going to bed. Gotta get my sleep in. All right, gotta take breaks. But I feel like I could really knock out so many books if I could just sit here and have a day to just read. Really, I need to like carve out just a weekend where all I do the whole weekend is just read, and I could get through so many books. 'Cause I'm a pretty fast reader, but like I feel like if I just gave myself a weekend to just do my good reading, I could knock out all these books because I want to read them. And like right now, as I like got a new shelf, which did I even show you guys my new shelf yet? I don't think so. That'll come in another video. But like I have more books now. I'm buying more books. My TBR is getting a little bit out of hand. It's getting crazy. So I need to start reading the books that I am buying. Anyways, side note, side note. What else? Oh, guys, this book, I've already showed it to you guys before. Y'all know what this book is. We talked about it so many times. I got 7 Year Slip. I already had a copy of it, but then at my pop up bookshop earlier this year, I sold my personal copy. And so I just hadn't gotten around to buying another copy for myself. This was my favorite book of, when did this book come out? 2023? When did I read it? 2023? I think one of my favorite books of the year. Like I love this book so much. I do plan to do a reread maybe sometime next year. I just feel like I have so many books that are on my TBR that I haven't got into rereading books yet, but this is one that I could definitely see myself rereading. It was so enjoyable. And the first time I read it, I actually listened to it, the audiobook. So I want to read it again, just a physical copy and just give it my own voices and stuff in there. I think it's going to be great. But this was $8. Got this originally going for 17, so great deal. And I don't even remember how much I paid for my first copy, but it's a really good copy. No scuffs or anything on there. No annotations, which I wouldn't mind. Y'all know I love a little annotation in my books, but this looks so good and I can't wait to read it again. If you have not read this, I'm sure that you've heard of it, but if you have not and you have not read it, it's a great, great, great book. It's got romance. It's kind of funny. It's got magical realism. It's really great. And also, if you're an audiobook girly, I think this was a great audiobook too. I love the voices. The narrators were great. But yes, this is the one. Anybody I have recommended this book to has loved it 5 stars every time, and I've recommended it to a lot of people, and everybody loves it. So if you have not read it, read it. Um, okay, what else? Those are the books that I bought. Now, I bought a few other books, but I gave them all to my friend for her birthday. I think I got her Heaven Earth grocery store. I got her. There was someone sold a UK copy of what was one of the books? It was UK copy of Love in Other Words. I don't know. Either way, I got her a copy of that, which was really cool, and I got her something else too. I cannot remember the third book that I got her, but anyways, blessed her with some books, amen. And so that's what I did. But either way, I just love going to half price books, and I have a lot of locations here in Dallas. But this one that I went to the other day, I hadn't been to it before, so I like to explore the locations and see what other books they have. And they all are pretty much the same, but just a different selection of books depending on what is sold to that specific location. And I found it was like a great half price book strip. Like everywhere I turned, there was a new book that I wanted, to the point where I had to put some stuff back because, like I said, I went in there for one book for a friend. I left with three books for her, and one, two, three, four, five books for myself. Ooh, crazy, and I'm not even mad about it because sometimes you have to treat yourself. Okay, I hadn't bought any books before this in a minute. So, it's fine. But anyways, let's get into this TBR and I'm gonna let y'all go. So far, let me pull my list up here. So far, I started out the month reading One Dark Window, okay, by Rachel. I think it's Rachel Gillig, if I'm remembering correctly. That was so good. As someone who is trying to get into fantasy and like I want to explore more, I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. This was like, I wouldn't say, is it full romantasy? I think so, yeah. But it wasn't like romance the whole time though. It had a really good balance, I think, and I was actually engaged in like the magical world and the fantasy world that was built up. I was in it. I was locked in, and I found that with other books that I've tried and haven't probably have DNF and not finished them, I just feel like I'm not catching on or I'm not locked in behind the story. But this was different. I really loved it. This is a recommendation from one of my friends. She was like, "You have to read it. You're going to love it." And anytime I get a good recommendation from a friend, I'm like, "Yeah, I'll read it. I'll do it." And she was absolutely right. I love this book. I want to say I gave it 4 stars. It was so 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 good. I'm trying to think of something I can share without giving too many details. Just know that it's good. Just believe me. God, y'all know I don't like giving details. But if you're looking for a good way to get into fantasy, I think this is a great point. The romance is good. I love our main male character. I love our female main character. The story, like you're on your toes. Something is always happening. And at the beginning of each chapter, there's like a riddle, like a little poem riddle situation. And I don't know, I just found that so intriguing as a girl who likes the rhymes and the rhythms. I think that was good. And like, so it just was an intriguing story. And um, read it, just please, thank you. After that, I got, hold on, bury our boy, bury our bones in the midnight soil. Okay, now this book, I think I gave it 5 stars. If I didn't, I need to go and change it because I've just been sitting on it since I finished reading it, what, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. And I'm just thinking about it more and more. I'm like, that was a really enjoyable book, a really good story. And I keep thinking about it. This month I have really, sometimes I do like I'll read on theme for the month of October, or I'll just read whatever comes to me. But this month I've been very much in my Halloween spooky vampire, something's going on, magical bag. So I've been wanting to read this, but I wanted to wait until October to read it. And I actually ended up listening to the audiobook, and then I bought the physical copy as well, because one, it's a beautiful book. I just like it a lot. So this is a vampire story. It follows three different ladies and three different periods of time. And it explores, they all end up kind of being connected in a way. And you learn that in the book. I don't want to say too much, but it was like just enough romance, just enough gory vampire realness going on. It was a nice balance of everything. And I actually cared about each individual character's story. And sometimes I find with like a multi character thing, I end up just loving and caring about one person more than the others. And this one was very well balanced. And I kind of didn't like and liked pretty much every character, which was, I like that. It was just interesting to see how they developed over the years because obviously with some of the characters who are vampires, they live for a long time. And so seeing how they change and grow throughout decades and centuries of living is so interesting. And then also just exploring like the vampire lore of it all. Is interesting as a person who likes a lot of vampire stuff. So I like to hear the different things of the different rules they have to go by and how they deal with the being in the sun kind of thing, and seeing how each author or each person who's like doing movies on vampire stuff handles these things differently. I just find that intriguing. And so if you're into vampires or you just needed like a fun story, I wouldn't even say is it fun. It was an enjoyable read. It was an enjoyable read. I was on my toes. It was just a really good book. And I think that if you're going to listen to the audiobook, it was very good as well. The voices were so good. I loved the voices of what's Miss Girl's name? Maria? Did I just make that up? Hold on. Yes, Maria. I didn't make it up. Maria's voice, I love it. Oh, I almost said something that gave something away. I will keep that to myself. Just know that as Maria's voice develops, it sounds so good. I like it. And so I'm glad I listened to it as well. But definitely a good read. And then what else have I read this month? Oh, Recursion. Recursion by Blake Crouch. I've been wanting to read that for a while and I finally got around to it. And if you know, you know, I love any kind of time travel, time manipulation, back in time kind of vibe. That is the kind of book that I enjoy. And this was got to be in my top three of favorite time travel related books. It was so good. And what I like is that most of the time with those time travel books, maybe that's why I like them, you always end up coming at one point or another, the author's going to explore that point of going back in time or going forward in time. Nothing matters except for the present, and you going back thinking that you're going to change something, it's just going to offset something else. Like there's no point in you trying to go back, and there's no point in you trying to jump forward. Only thing that matters in the moment that we're in right now. Oh, the disrespect. They know I'm recording a video and they're honking outside. Anyways, I like that point of it all as a person who just likes to look, if you're looking at your life and you're thinking about, oh, I wish I could go back and change this if I had the opportunity, or I wish if I could just know what's going to happen here, like, which are very normal and human thoughts that we have. But just to know that, like, when they end up doing all the things and they go back or they go for whatever ends up happening in any kind of time travel story, you always end up having the point where it's just like, nah, this is the moment that matters. You need to focus on what you can do right now, and that can affect how your future will go. And you've already lived your past. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I just enjoyed that whole lesson, and I can hear it over and over and over again. So, this book did a great job of exploring that lesson. They had a lot of good one-liners in here, especially towards the end, that I really, really enjoyed. Okay, so I did want to give you like a very brief summary of this book. Basically, what I wrote is: a New York City cop and a neuroscience uncover a mysterious technology that lets people relive memories, but it's causing reality itself to unravel. As false memories spread like a disease, they must work together to stop a force that threatens time, identity, and the fabric of the world. Um, so yeah, that's basically what that one's about. I really, really enjoyed this book. I want to say I gave it 5 stars. It was so, so good. And what made this even better, no, I know for sure I give it 5 stars. I remember writing a little baby review on Goodreads about it. This was also, I didn't even know, this was also my 50th book of the year, which is my goal, which was so exciting. I'll enter my little Goodreads 50 books little thing here so y'all can see and celebrate with me. But I'm so excited about that. I had no clue that I knew I was close, but I didn't know it was that close. And so when I like finished reading it and I put it in Goodreads, it was like, girl, 50, you've done it. And I was like, so that was really exciting for me. And like I said in my review, there's nothing like finishing your reading goal and hitting your reading goal with a 5 star read that you really, really enjoyed. So that was nice. And I'm really happy to have read 50 whole books in a year, which is crazy. And I think, I can't remember what my goal was last year. I want to say it was like 25 or 30, maybe it was 40. I cannot remember. But to be in October and I still have a good number of books that I want to get to before the end of the year, it makes me excited because I was like, okay, next year's goal, are we gonna go for 100? I don't know. I feel like I might want to, maybe I'll go 80 and see how that goes, and then the year after that go 100. We'll see. But I'm really excited about it, and I didn't even know I was gonna hit my goal so early. So I don't know. It just feels good, and like to say that I was able to read 50 whole books in a year as someone who, like I said, I didn't really, when I started reading, I never had any goals in mind for it. So it just feels good to kind of be where I am now. And I'm excited to read more things and get exposed to more authors and more genres and more books that I've never read before. So looking forward to that. But anyways, that was a great way to end my reading challenge show. That's the last book that I have completed this month in terms of what I want to read. So right now, I'm currently reading this book called Kiss and Spell. I'll see if I can put a closer picture up for you guys. But Kiss and Spell by Celestine Martin. This is book 2 in a series that she has. I read the first book in the series last year, and then this is book 2, Kiss and Spell, and then book 3 is Deja Brew. I don't think I'm going to get to book 3 in this month, so I probably will save that one for next year. But I just enjoy this. They're light, they're cute, it's romance, it's black romance. They've got some kind of a magical situation for each main character in the book. And so this one is really, really cute. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm about 50% in, and I feel like the romance is getting ready to kick in. I feel it. I'm excited. So they've been kind of building it up real slow, which I actually really enjoy. And I wanted like some kind of just light romance read as a part of my October TBR. So this was great. Or this is great. I'm still reading it. I'm going to probably knock out a good portion of that today when I finish making this video. And then, oh, also, I'm listening to The Fourth Monkey. That is by, hold on. That is by JD Barker. That this is my serial killer, scary criminal crime situation that I have going on. So I've got a vampire situation. I've got my light fluffy romance. I've got my serial killer situation popping off. And then what is my other option? What's my other thing I'm listening to? And then I had my fantasy, my one dark window. So Fourth Monkey, I just started it, so I don't know a whole bunch about what's going on, but I know there's a serial killer who I think ends up passing away, and then he leaves a journal for the cops to kind of follow, so that he can tell his story about how this all happened, how did he end up being a serial killer, all the things, is what I feel like I understand from my coworker who told me about the book. Could be completely wrong. Okay, don't hold it to me. All right, I just started it, but I am enjoying it so far. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how it's going to all come together. But it's cool because in the audiobook that I'm listening to, it's got like two different stories that they're bouncing between. So they're bouncing between real life, what's happening. The cops are working to figure to find this girl and all the things like that. And then there's another side of the story where it's like a flashback to the serial killer's childhood and what they're seeing and experiencing. And I'm really locked in on the serial killer's childhood story. Like I like that part. It's just interesting to see like what he has experienced that is getting him to this point. And I'm only at the beginning, so I'm not seeing a lot. But even the things that I've heard and seen now, I was like, oh, no wonder you like that. This is crazy. This is crazy what they got you doing. This is crazy. So I'm excited to continue listening to that as well. So these are the books that I have completed this month and am currently reading this month. I have one more that I want to try to squeeze in, and that is Two Twisted Crowns. That's the second book in the One Dark Window. It's like a duology, so this is the second book in there. I want to get to that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to because if I just sit here and read today, I probably can finish Kiss and Spell, and then I can start Two Twisted Crowns because that's going to be on my Kindle as well. I already have it downloaded. It's ready to go, but I would like to finish it. Either way, if I don't finish it this month, I'm going to finish it before the year is out because I'm really like One Dark Window ended on a cliffhanger and I need to figure out what's going to happen, but I wanted to take a break to be able to read everything else on my October TBR list and then come back to that. Since I know I'm going to be locked in whenever I start reading it. But that's the only one I'm going to try to sneak in if I can. So I got to really just focus and lock in this week to make sure that I can catch up on all my other books or these other two books that I'm reading right now. But yeah, that's my October TBR. So lots of spooky Halloween themed things, which is just exciting to do. Because I just really, like I said, I'm a mood reader. So if I'm not in the mood to do the October vibe, I'm not doing it. But this time I'm in it and I'm really excited about it. So I'm just going to keep it going. I'm going to try to get through the rest of these books. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed my little mini book haul and me sharing my October TBR with you guys. If you are also in the spooky vibe mood for the month, drop your books below or anything that you're reading this month. Give me some recommendations. I'm always looking for new things to read and new books to buy. Okay. But anyways, oh guys, and this is like a small thing. Okay, if I will buy this series and I will show it to you guys whenever I get it. I saw Kyra's Store. I don't know if you guys follow her. She's another booktuber. She's amazing. I watch all of her content. But I was watching a video of hers last week and she pulled out this beautiful floral box set of the Twilight series, which I have not read. I started book one when I was a kid, never finished it, and I want to read them. I just haven't bought them yet. This set, y'all, if I can find a picture, I'll put it in here. This set is so beautiful. It will look beautiful on anybody's bookshelf. It's a really pretty set. It's got flowers at the bottom. I'll put the picture. I ain't even got to explain what it looks like. It's so beautiful and I need it bad. And so that is the next set of books that I will be buying as soon as possible is this box set of the Twilight series. And then I'm going to read that. If October was longer, I would read that as well. But I know I'm not going to be able to finish all. I think it's 5 books, right? I'm not gonna be able to finish all of those within the next 2 weeks. But I do plan to take my time and just get through each one of those books. I'm very excited. I love the Twilight movies. Yes, watching them back as an adult, I was like, interesting, interesting stuff. But I have never ever read the books before, and I heard they give you obviously a lot more detail than what you see in the movies, and so I'm very excited to explore that for myself. But to do it with a beautiful set of books like that, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. When I saw her pull those books out, I said, "Sister, need that bad." So if you're into Twilight, or if you want to read it, or if you just want a really pretty book set to put on your bookshelf, that might have something to do with why I'm purchasing this. Treat yourself. I don't know. I say do it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful week. Love you guys so much. Bye.